All right, I'm gonna try to make this brief. This is just gonna be a quick intro video to what I'm hoping to be a little series on this channel. The first thing of value I've actually ever posted. So quick background for anyone who doesn't know, it's a Merc Racing 1900 kit. I've got the air-to-water system, and it's been really great to me. I love the way it drives, it makes great power. I'm just a little OCD about intake temperatures, and after talking to some of my friends who have similar setups, I seem to be, for some reason, just having slightly higher temperatures than most other people with these setups. I think most of that issue comes from only having a single heat exchanger, which is also mostly blocked by the bumper. So I'm playing with a couple of ideas here. I don't really have too much room to fit a second one, so I've been doing a lot of Googling, and I think I found something that will actually squeeze. I'm gonna try to do a second one. If you guys subscribe to Reese's Cars, he has the same setup on the 9th gen, and his intake temperatures are consistently lower than mine, even on track. Another thing that may contribute to that is my reservoir for the aftercooler here is right next to the header, which obviously isn't ideal. This is a piece that was custom made for me several years ago, and I'm really hoping to keep it, but if it has to go, it has to go. I've been speaking with DEI a little bit and just playing with other products they have that may help me keep some heat out of this. So that obviously doesn't help. So what I'm going to be playing with, again, as I mentioned, is trying to fit another heat exchanger in there. Like I said, everybody else I've spoken to has at least one, or excuse me, at least two, or at least one that's taller, that gets airflow all the time. So I'm going to play with that. I'm going to play with a bunch of insulation products in general, just trying to keep heat out. Like, for example, this radiator hose is right by the bottom of this, which is just going to keep everything warmer than it probably should be. That's really it. Let's see if I can come up with anything else, but if anybody has any suggestions for me, I'll post things along the way as I come up with them, and happy to hear your comments. Thanks. And just for additional context, while I'm in here, my one heat exchanger fits very nicely behind the grill, and as you can see, I have a little bit of room here, not really too much. The heat exchanger I found is about 2 inches thick, and it's looking like on the narrowest corners here, I may have one. So I'm gonna do some more measuring. I've got plenty of space here in the center, but I'm hoping I don't have to trim too much of this, but it looks like there should be enough space for me to just cut the parts that are going to interfere, and there should be plenty of support here for this to still hopefully keep itself up. But that's gonna be my biggest challenge, because if you know me personally, I don't like to cut things. So I'm gonna try to do this as cleanly as possible without creating too many more issues. The one I'm looking at is a bit taller, so again, I'll be able to fit or get some airflow up in this area, which should help me quite a bit. And the coolant will pass 4 times rather than 2, so hopefully all those things combined will help me out a little bit. Let's see what happens.